Hi, and welcome to your classes on awareness. All right, so awareness. Awareness is a state of present moment consciousness, visualization, and imagery that you have within your body and your mind and your connection to self. In the healing world, we want to have a really good connection between the energy within our body and the connection between the divine that's as above and within us and how it's expressed out into the world. You have your awareness of your thinking, of the thoughts and belief structures that come through. For example, I can, I'm able to, versus I can't and I won't, or I'm unable to. You'll hear those thoughts in your mind, and how do you first just hear them? Become aware that they're there. And at this moment, really no judgment, just checking it out. For example, when we start diving into some of the hot and cold therapy that we're going to recommend within the body's healing ability, jumping into cold water, you're going to notice your brain's like, I don't want to jump into cold water. That's too cold. Okay. Be aware that those thoughts came to your mind. It's like, it's cold water. It's possible for me to be okay going into cold water. I can make it cool. I don't have to make it freezing. Okay, I can do that. That's a sign of awareness, of being able to cognitively hear what's in your mind and making the choice point to either say, I like that thought. That's a good thought. That's a positive thought. That's a helpful thought. Or, you know what, that thought really doesn't serve me. And I feel myself suppressing issues. I feel myself not allowing myself an expressive process. And becoming aware that that's there is key. So you have your spiritual, you have your physical, you have your mental and emotional aspects of awareness. And now we're going to be really diving into the imagery. So when you've looked at your anatomy book, now can you close your eyes and visualize you? Okay, this is where my head is. This is where my shoulders are, and I'm sitting on a table. Okay. I'm now connecting to my breath. Okay. And just becoming settled in and aware. And at this moment, you're forgetting about the day, forgetting about what happened in the past, whether it was 3 seconds ago, an hour ago, when you were 2. Letting it all go. Being aware of this present moment, this feeling, this moment, this experience, and not worrying about, well, how long is this going to take? What's going to happen to me when I do all this in the future, and I have groceries to do later on today? You're letting go of all that. Awareness is the ability to stay in the present moment consciousness, and not your past and not a projected future, but in this present moment. So finding your space, finding your mind, finding your breath, and then being able to visualize and see that which you're working on and the goal that you're working on reaching, to then, by doing the drill and learning the skill in this present state and feeling the expression and the exuberance that comes forth by doing healing techniques in the present moment, is so key. So when we're doing your visualization, and it's like, okay, where is my heart center? Okay, I know my heart is right here. I saw it in my anatomy book. I'm going to visualize and see my heart. I'm going to feel my heart and my breath. And so later on, when we're doing, for example, cardiovascular and heart healing, you're in your present moment, you're in your breath, you're in seeing the heart, the whole cardiovascular tree, and then you're doing the techniques and the hands-on techniques on that system and feeling what it's doing for you, and experiencing the exuberance, vitality. Here's the thing. All sickness and disease is about inflammation, swelling, tender to touch, pain, which you feel, like I feel, wow, my elbow hurts. That's pain. Tenderness is, I don't think there's anything wrong with my elbow. Ow! Oh, that hurt. That's tender to touch. That's a sign that there's inflammation and swelling. There's a redness to this. It's tender to touch. And then could be a pain sensation. I have sciatic pain. I have femoral nerve pain. I feel a cardiovascular pain. I feel a right shoulder gallbladder pain called referral points. So you feel the pain. I feel when I turn my head, it hurts. Okay, those are pain versus tender to touch. Because your body sometimes won't tell you, because it's got to do its stuff. It's got to work, it's got to drive, it's got to take care of the kids, it's got to pick up the groceries, it's got to do all the things. Being able to be aware, oh wow, I can slow down, I can find my breath, and your body's not going to tell you it's in pain. Oh, ow, tender to touch. There's something there. I should address that at some point. Well, the point is now in the now space to work on yourself. So you have those experiences. And then the last one is lack of range of motion. Because of the swelling, because of the inflammation, the joints, the muscles become tight and fatigued, and they won't move through the full range, full extension, full flexion, and you feel yourself either then the body will have the weak muscles that it'll collapse in. So I'm aware that, oh wow, let's just say this is my natural state. Oh, okay. I feel that my left shoulder is lower than my right shoulder, and my right shoulder is higher than my left. Which one's the right one? That's insequential. You're just becoming aware of it. Something has collapsed. Something is overexerting itself in some way, shape, or form, or overexerting itself or in fatiguing out. What's one side of the coin or the other at this point is insequential. As you start doing the movements and the expressive healing techniques, your body will start feeling energy coming into it. The structure now will have the muscles contracting, relaxing, and letting go. The neurology is getting clearer, and you're becoming more aligned into your body. So by the state of just awareness, oh, that's different. Okay, I feel tightness there. I feel a movement there. I feel my breath going here or here. And so becoming aware and practicing awareness is very, very important. So you're going to have this awareness throughout the entire practice. And awareness is always, I love my yogis. Thank you for showing up on your mat. Thank yourself for coming to this day and spending time with yourself and letting go of judgment and finding your space and finding your spiritual peace and finding your connection and getting your body to be more vibrant. because that's where sickness and disease is lack of vitality, lack of flow, no movement. It's stagnant. It becomes more acidic. The tissues start degenerating faster. They become have free radicals, which is cells that are dying faster. So that if the cell is doing that, then the tissue's doing that. If the tissue's doing that, the tissues that make up that organ are doing it. So the organ's doing that. If the organ is doing that, then what the organ creates, i.e. like the chemistry, it's going to do more of that or less of what it needs. It's not going to absorb nutrition the way it could or should. And so you're going to feel those things changing as you first just right off the bat, just become aware, finding your body. So work on visualizing the anatomy book. See your anatomy book. Okay, I'm going to visualize. Okay, there's my brain. There's my cerebellum. There's the brain stem. There's the spinal cord. There's the nerves that come out into my hands. There's the nerves that come down into my feet. I see that. I don't quite remember the names, but that's okay. I see that. Okay, now I remember all the names. There's all the names. And so you have that connection to yourself. And then as you do that more and more, and you do the drill and learn the skill, and then you do the techniques, you'll feel the expression of it. And then it's just second nature. You don't have to actually think about it anymore. You just have to see it, and it's there. So have fun with awareness. Awareness is so powerful. It's the beginning state of everything. It's just finding your connection, finding your space, giving yourself the time and the permission to literally take care of yourself. I'm a caregiver, and a lot of you are caregivers. And so what's the biggest thing with caregivers? Everybody else first, me last. Or it's like what is it? The person that makes all the shoes. All the kids don't have shoes. Caregivers, we don't really care for ourselves as much because we're caring for others. So this is your time. This is your space to take care of you and to dive into your great self-healing abilities and expressions. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.